live the life. City to city, we run the night.
In the city after dark, it's only the.
You tune into Original Bad Guy Jonski, you know what I'm saying? Press that button down there, like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? And if you're a subscriber, make sure you keep your notifications on so when we send out some new shit, you'll be the first one to get notified, you know what I'm saying? Peace. Yo, what up? The Original Bad Guy Jonski, you know what I'm saying? I want to touch on, you know, this little debate that's going on, you know, immigration and all that, and how it really just got out of control in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But one thing, especially here, you know, what I mean by here in the United States, in this country, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everyone, it's a migrant, everybody came from somewhere unless you're you know, a Native American, you know what I'm saying? From one of the tribes. Other than that, everybody came from somewhere. So, you know, now I had a little bit of a problem though when they were using it like for political stance, because that's how they did back in the day, you know what I'm saying, for the Democratic Party for when World War II was going on with Hitler. So what they did was they brought all the exiled Jews and everything back into this country. For one of the main things they did was every one of them that came into this country got signed up as a Democrat and voted democratically. So that way they go ahead on and pass these new laws and all this stuff that they have to do. Now that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're using them as a purpose, and that's exactly what they did in the aspect right now with all these from Venezuela and from all these other, you know, Latin American countries that a lot of times, especially a country like Venezuela, which was socialist, it's a socialist country that the country was giving them everything. You know what I'm saying? The country handled everything, healthcare, everything. So when the government went haywire, then that means all the government programs went shut. They went kaput. People starving. Nobody could do nothing. Why? Because they ain't working. They had no jobs. They had no way of money because they were getting handouts. That's not right neither. You know what I'm saying? So they were bringing all those people here. They come in here again, register them as Democrats, have them vote democratically, because Democrats is almost like a socialist type of thing where it's all about handouts. So it's like, but that's why I thank God in the sense that we woke up to that. And when I say we, meaning that, because it ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Democrat, Republican, it don't matter. The money, as long as the money stays the same, as long as, you know what I'm saying, as long as the United States gives the power to the Federal Reserve, for the Federal Reserve to print the money, everything stays the same. It don't matter who makes the law, it doesn't matter who's the president, it doesn't matter. The money is not changing. So as long as that don't change, there can never be anything uprooted in this country. You know what I'm saying? Because if I control your money, you can't print your money without asking me to print it for you. So I got you locked down, so there's no way to go. And if you try to go ahead on and fight against that system, we'll just go ahead on and knock you off. Like that's what they did to John F. Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? If you think they blew that man's head off because some mob thing or whatever, nah. They blew that man's head off because he was getting ready to start messing with the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is a privately owned corporation owned by private citizens and bankers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how in this modern age, in 2025, we're still in this country under the thumb of them peoples like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it doesn't matter. So, you know what I'm saying? And not only us, it's the whole, practically the world, you know what I'm saying? Because any country that has a central bank system and is messing around with the World Bank and all that, it's just case closed. So, you know what I'm saying? But for real, now that Trump is in there, whatever, you know, and some of this immigration, you know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at it too, it wasn't all Spanish people coming into this country too, and they were using that border to come in. There was a lot of Africans, a lot of Muslims, a lot of Chinese, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? They were all thinking about it's all Latin America, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, we also need to touch on that too.
Well, it seems like they're attacking the Hispanics, and that was unexpected.
The scapegoat, we're the scapegoat. That's why. You know what I'm saying? It's a scapegoat because they always seem like all the Mexicans are coming through, taking the jobs and all this and that, whatever the fuck. But it ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying? So they need to go ahead on and, you know, and straighten that out. But right now though, with this dude just came into power. So now it's on a whole different thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Now the, you know, we're gonna be more focused on this other stuff. You know, oh, Trump's a racist, oh, this racist. Man, there's been racism in this country from the number one giddy up, man. So what you talking about, man? Hey, what you talking about? You think this man just came into power and now it's all racist? What you talking? It ain't even about that. You know what I'm saying? Shit's always been that way. It's that this country has a really, 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 really hypocritical thinking of them, man. They're hypocrites as far as that's concerned, man. We still, what I mean by we, as a country as a whole, has not taken responsibility, man, for all that, for the slavery, man. Up until 1960, whatever, man, the people were still getting hung. Down here. What I mean down here, down south, man. Down here, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, you know what I'm saying, Texas, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we can't never lose focus of that, you know what I'm saying? That and it's still going on to this very day. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, the damage has been done because you have a whole demographic of people that do not know who or whom they are. You understand what I'm saying? That, I mean, I'm fortunate enough a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with me being Spanish and me being, you know what I'm saying, Latin, you feel me? That when I was getting taught that in school, when they started talking about the Spanish Inquisition or they started talking about anything from Spain, I sat up a little bit because I'm like, wait a minute, Spain, that's Spanish, so that's me. That they, you know what I'm saying? That's my people. So I had a little bit. So what I'm getting by that is the greatest civilization on this earth. They started naming it what? Egyptians. And they started naming it from what? A place called Egypt. And it was like Egypt. That I probably would even ask you today if you know where Egypt is, and you'll probably say it's in Egypt. And Egypt is in Africa. All day. Africa. And when you think of Africa, you think of one thing. Boom, Africa. You think of black. You think of fucking melanated people running around there. You know what I'm saying? That's why they took that out of it. So that way, when you mention Egypt, Egypt doesn't bring up nothing about no melanated people. It doesn't bring up no Moors. It doesn't bring up none of that. It doesn't bring up no African, none of that. It just brings up, you think Egypt. Oh, the pharaohs or whatever. Elizabeth Taylor looking like Cleopatra. But it ain't even like that. But that's what that's how severe the programming is. The programming has it such that they name a place or area and they name it Egypt to take it out of the perplex of Africa because it's in Africa. Any Egyptian walking this earth is African. Straight up. There's no other, you know what I'm saying? That's why when you say Japan, you don't think Chinese, you think Japan, you think Japanese, right? You think Chinese, you think Chinese, right? You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican, Spanish, Cuban, right? All that. So, it's, you know what I'm saying? So what happens over there? Egypt. Egypt, what are you? No, Egypt, Africa. It's African. You know what I'm saying? So right there, when you think of all those great civilizations that walked down there, those Egyptians, you know what I'm saying, from the pharaoh Akhenaten, who was a great pharaoh that walked this earth, you know what I'm saying, all the way down to one of the he was a genius, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one that was in charge of all of that built the pyramids and all that. Not the ones that were down in Kush. I'm talking about the ones that are in Giza, that the main ones that don't have the cap on them. You know what I'm saying? That dude right there, you know what I'm saying? So you can't, but again, they didn't want they didn't want them, so now you have a whole group of people walking around here that don't act like kings and queens like they are, because that's where they come from. They come from kings and queens, man. But the more people they bring in, the more people they control, so they control the narratives, because they told them people, yo, this is what it is. Look what we're giving you. Look what we're doing for you. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to run with us. You got to vote these people. That's why it's like, in a sense, it's good that they didn't get that whole movement together. Now look, man, some people really do deserve a chance because in their countries, it's really bad over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, Ecuador, South, you know what I'm saying? That them people's over there with them gangs and stuff, man, them people's just like, you know, they're under rule of these gangs and they can't do nothing, so you don't want, you know, how can you live that way? You know what I'm saying? So they should come here and work to try to get a better life, you know what I'm saying? But also, too, it's like, you know, the people that are here already ain't getting the same benefits, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, because that's the agenda's already been done, so that's what it is, so it's like you know, hopefully they get it right, you know what I'm saying, because just, it is what it is. Because see, our birth certificates, our information, you know, our vital statistics, all our paperwork is the most that's being either counterfeited or being used because we automatically are, you know what I'm saying, U.S. citizens. You can be born in Puerto Rico straight up and just get on a plane and come here. You know what I'm saying? There's no green card, there's none of that. So if you really wanted to, you could get with a Puerto Rican out there, get his paperwork, buy his birth certificate, buy his shit, and go to work underneath that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they were like, we just have to double check, because that's what's been happening a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, but it's fucked up that Puerto Rico is just a commonwealth. It's just a territory of the United States. It ain't really a part of the United States, man.
But
They don't vote.
Latinos Latinos been involved in all the wars
Of course.
that United States have.
Of
So,
course.
and
They go out there fighting.
okay, so what do you think of John Leguizamo?
Well, I mean,
Because he's right now an activist of the Latinos right now.
Yeah, he's always been. He's always been. I mean, he's got his different ideologies, but
Okay.
but he's straight from New York. He knows what time it is. I mean, he just knows it. He knows even on a different scale because his people's, came here. I think he's Colombian. I think.
Yes.
Right, he's Colombian. Yeah. So his people's came. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's from New York. He's from Queens. You know what I'm saying? So he know what time it is. Like, he knew the difference too. Like, saying like as far as like the difference, like how I figured it out. Like, how my culture, like in my hood, in my with my peoples. And also knowing that different language too, that's just a whole other, knowing a different language and speaking your language and knowing your culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, my father, is a dark-skinned, melanated person, but if you tell my father that he's black or whatever, my father tell you, I'm not black, my father tell you, I'm Puerto Rican. And I try to tell him, Puerto Rican is just your culture, it's just your language, it's not who you are. Somebody doesn't hear you speak, somebody just sees you, they'll be like, yo, that's a black dude with an afro, because that's what you are, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just to look at that type of thing, but John Leguizamo has this stuff for like his people's, like, because I'm pretty sure he gets like the stigma, they say, Colombians, you part of the narco terrorist, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They probably like, what you talking about? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that's just the way it is.
Immediately stereotyped.
Yeah, like Puerto Ricans, when you got a knife, when you go steal it, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, it's like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that with everything, like, what are you, a Jew? Or what are you, a shyster? You a money grabber? You know what I'm saying? You're Italian? What are you, in the mob? yo, this is the original Bad Guy Jonski, you know what I'm saying? And the opinions that I stress on here are just my opinion and my thoughts on certain situations, on certain topics, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing to anybody else or whatever. It's just how I feel and how, and how, that's just how it is for me. And if you sharing that, then it's all good. And if you don't, then we have to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way it is. The opinions on here are just my opinions.
We live the life. City, we run the